So Beyond the Spider-Verse is now officially my most anticipated movie. Due to debut in 2024, I'm really excited to see the culmination of the Spiderverse trilogy and also all the things that we could be getting in the future. This video is going to be one big theory time.
Time to die.
And we'll be talking about what we think could happen in the film and where it could lead. Now obviously, heavy spoilers ahead, so if you haven't had a chance to check it out, then I'll recommend you check out now. If you enjoy the video, please hit the thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe for breakdowns like this every day. Without the way, a huge thank you for clicking this. Now let's get into our theories on Beyond the Spider-Verse.
My friend runs a channel called Heavy Spoilers where he explains breakdowns, etc, etc.
Oh, no way.
He would have killed me if I didn't wear this into this interview.
No spoilers
friend you
today,
are.
though.
Now before talking about it, I think we have to go into what happened at the end of Across the Spider-Verse. Refusing to allow his dad to die, Miles raced across Nueva York, which is where he was chased by the entire Spider Society. Luring them away from their base, he was able to return back there and use one of their devices to send him back to his reality. Or so he thought. Turns out that because the spider that bit him was from another universe, that had put DNA from Earth 42 in him, which had then gone on to replace his own. This meant that the machine registered him as being from that universe, and thus it sent him back there instead. In this reality, because the spider had been plucked from it, it had never bitten Miles there, and thus the one on this Earth had a vastly different time. Because Miles never went against his Uncle Aaron, he instead ended up siding with him, and we saw that he'd become this universe's prowler. Strapping him to a punching bag just like Peter B. Parker, he started to question what was going on with Miles and his home reality. Interested in his dad still being alive, we ended with him asking why he should let Miles go. Now we actually end with Miles putting his fingers to the chains of the punching bag and then starting to rev up his special venom powers. I think come the next film that we will likely see him escape the bag, and then we'll watch as Miles has to outrun the Prowler variant across this alternate Earth. The problem he has right now is that he's got nowhere to get back home, and this is due to the bans for the multiverse now no longer being on him. Which, when I think about it, I don't even think he had access to. He had the guest pass, so he's never had the ability to jump into other universes. Now, the only way he got into Earth 42 was that he used that machine, and thus there's no way for him to exit this reality. That's where I think Spider-Gwen's gonna come in, and after rounding up all the other Spider people from the first film, she's now got the technology to travel across the multiverse because of the homemade device Hobie made her. He's there with her too, alongside Spider-Bite and Spider-Man India, who've now formed this new crew. Now I think that they'll possibly head out looking for Miles, which is when they'll discover that he's on Earth 42. I don't think that this will be the end of Prowler Miles either, and I think he might travel across to Miles' universe through getting one of the devices from the other spiders. His interest seemed to peak with the mention that Jefferson's still alive, and he might want to live the life that he never got to have. Mathematically, this is something that we've seen laced throughout all the antagonists that have appeared in the franchise so far. Kingpin wanted to use the Collider to pull a family across from another universe, and Miguel travelled into an alternate reality so that he could go on and have one. I can see this being reflected in Prowler Miles too, and it might make the main Miles realise just how lucky he is. He has kind of taken his family for granted at this point, and I think that seeing what another version of him would give to be with them will show what he needs to do. Now Prowler Miles going into this reality could very much destroy it, and this would be similar to what happened with Miguel. Therefore, it's of the utmost importance that they don't allow this to happen, and I think that the Prowler Miles is going to be a very big villain. Now, the destruction of the reality is something that the Spot's after too, as he wants to take everything Miles has. Across the Spider-Verse, we watch as he drops into Miles' reality back home in order to set off a chain of events that will likely kill Jefferson. In the vision he shows Miles, we see hints of this with Jefferson trying to save a child, which is when he's killed by debris. This is something that's classed as a canon event, and it would also make the Spot the nemesis that he wants to be. Now on this reality, we also know that Miguel and co are waiting there for Miles. However, with the arrival of the Spot there, they're going to be left with two choices. The more I think about it with them, it's kind of a lose-lose situation, as there's only really two things that they can now do. The first is that they actually let the Spot go and kill Jefferson, because that's what's meant to happen when we look at the canon. Now the conflict here comes from the fact that they are supposed to be stopping big bad guys like this, and with the Spot becoming even more powerful, he's no longer just the villain of the week. So you'd think that they'd be desperate to take him out, but they're almost going to have to let it play out so that he can kill Jefferson. However, this could also make him even more powerful and push him to becoming a far more supreme force. You see, he wants to take everything from Miles, which likely includes destroying this reality, and the Spider Society, they're meant to be protecting universes. On the other side of this, if they step in and stop him, this is gonna cause a canon event to be disrupted, and it's gonna lead to the destruction of this reality. So they don't really have a choice in all honesty, and they're sort of in a moral quandary. Now to me, stopping the Spot is far more important than letting Jefferson die. The Spot is someone who could go across the multiverse and destroy everything there, whereas we've seen that the canon events can be disrupted and saved if the Society act fast enough. When the black hole appeared in Mumbattan, they set up devices to handle it, and thus there are ways that they can stabilize things. Gwen's reality didn't implode when her father gave up the badge either, and this means that he won't die in the line of duty. So there are certain things that can be changed, they just have to make the right choice with it. Now they might make Miles make the tough choice as well and cause the death of his father so that everything can work out. That's pretty dark, but it's something that's happened in a similar story that I won't spoil in case it turns up down the line. I'll talk about it soonish, but yeah, I have a feeling something like that might be happening soon, and I'd just rather avoid it. Talk to you about it in 2 weeks.
I'm nice like that.
Now as for how the entire trilogy ends, I actually think that we might see a segue from here into a live-action version of the character. This movie slowly started introducing live-action elements, and we saw this in Miss Chen and also Donald Glover. Now I think it would be stupid for Sony to do the live-action version they've just announced by starting things from square one. We already have a Miles that we love, and bringing the character across from this I think would work so well. If you've read Secret Wars, then you'll know that culminates with characters like Miles being brought across from the Ultimate version, and they then show up in the 616. We can have this acting as his origin story and just hit the ground running when we get into that. Makes sense, as we've also seen a live-action Donald Glover appearing as the Prowler. In the MCU, we know that the snap has happened, and there's been a big 5-year time jump. In these 5 years, I could easily see Aaron becoming the Prowler, and the one we see here might be from the MCU. However, he did mention his nephew in Spider-Man Homecoming, so maybe they wouldn't be able to just bring him right over, but I'd love to see it, and that's why this is just few times. It might not happen, it's just few times. A huge shout out as well to just watching 9 on Dal and Nanette, who on our Ending Explained video dropped a theory saying they think the Aaron we meet here might be the one who saves Jefferson. When you think about it, his brother was killed, and you can imagine that he'd want to right this wrong in another reality. Knowing that he's in danger might also be what pushes him to help Miles, and I think the character's going to turn in Beyond the Spiderverse. At the punching bag interaction, we saw Miles say to Aaron that he knows he doesn't want to be the Prowler, and that he can sense good in him. This is shut down though when he reveals that he's not, but I still think there's this side of him that can change it over. That idea takes a lot of focus in the conversation, and I think that he might also redeem himself in the upcoming film. Sure, he didn't kill Miles at the Kingpin's request, but he didn't really get the chance to change due to him being killed shortly after. I think that would work really well in the film, and it would be a nice way for him and his brother to also patch things up. They didn't really get the chance to in that original Spider-Verse movie, and knowing that both lost their brothers, I think that they're gonna come together and kinda redeem themselves to each other. Now moving on to another character, something about Miguel just doesn't sit right with me. He came across as brutal and almost verging on the Thanos style by doing the worst things possible for the greater good. Now when he's introduced by Gwen, we hear how he's almost like a vampire and he even has fangs. Miguel did indeed gain fangs in the comics and what looks like claws after his experiments were sabotaged. So yeah, there is a whole thing in the comics that explains why he looks like a vampire, but there's also another group that has a connection to the Spider-Verse stories that I think could be linked in. Yep, if you've read them, then you know who I'm talking about, and this is the creepy spider slayers known as the Inheritors. This group feed on totems which are animal-human hybrids, more specifically all the spider totems. Basically, in case you don't know them, they go around the multiverse and try to kill all the other spider people. Now while the vampire teeth and claws things could be part of his origin like the comics and Gwen just hyping him up, let's use our web fluid to reach further than Spidey holding a bridge together. What if Miguel O'Hara isn't actually Miguel O'Hara and he's in fact a character known as the Master Weaver? The Inheritors have been suspiciously not involved in the Spider-Verse movies thus far, and Miguel himself said he went to a world where a version of him had died. What if he's actually an Inheritor working to bring all the spiders together so that his clan can chow down on them like it's a spider buffet? Miguel seems particularly ruthless in this movie, and he's also built a spider device that spins which looks like a web that sends you back home. This is something that's linked in with the Master Weaver, and though it might be reaching, I think there are some connections here. The Master Weaver itself was a title given to the person who maintains the web of life and destiny, which is a model of the entire multiverse. When explaining the canon events, a web was spun around and it looked like the MCU multiverse sacred timeline. This could be a manifestation of the web of life and destiny, but it seems curious that Miguel knows so much about the Spider multiverse. The Inheritors in the past took control of the Master Weaver and used it to hunt all the Spider Totems, so this could be how he managed to gain this knowledge. After the Inheritors were defeated by the Spider Army, an ostracized member of the Inheritors named Khan became the Master Weaver, and I think it would be a hell of a twist to reveal that this is actually Miguel. Saying that though, they could make the character someone like Morlin, and that's a pretty big theory time to close the video off with. Massive shoutouts to our editor Matt for noticing that, and the guy, he sold me on the idea that it could in fact be him. Anyway, let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, and if you're as hyped as I am for Beyond the Spiderverse. If you want to support the channel for as little as 99 cents a month, then please click the join button below, and as a thank you, you'll get early access to videos every week. You also have our merch store over at zeroedition.com, which sells lots of nerdy inspired t-shirts, hats and more. We just launched a Secret Invasion / Pulp Fiction inspired t-shirt, so if you want to head over there and help us out, then the link's in the description. Now if you want something else to watch, we have a Spiderverse video on screen right now, so definitely head over there right after this. Either way, huge thank you for sitting through the video. I've been Paul, and I'll see you next time. Take care, peace.